please recite the sunshine laws.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Law, notice of this meeting stating the time and place was satisfied by the filing of an annual notice for this local Source and Star Ledger newspapers of general circulation within the Township of Union and posted on the bulletin board of the Township of Union Municipal Building.
All right, good evening and welcome. Before I go any further, I just want to thank the prior chairman, Jim Bowser, that's here today, for agreeing to serve on the planning board. Jim is now on the township committee, and his insight has proven to be invaluable, and we all welcome you, Jim, back on the planning board where you belong.
Thank you.
Ms. Rutledge, we have a roll call, please.
Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
Mr. Lewis? Ms. Perkins?
Here.
Reverend Starling? Mayor Figueredo?
Here.
Committeeman Bowser?
Here.
Ms. Ricketts?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Cohen?
Here.
Chairman Johnson?
Here. All right, we have a quorum. Ms. Patrick, would you please swear in Mr. Hatter?
Yes. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you'll be giving tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
And can I have a motion to approve the minutes of December 19, 2022?
Mr. Chairman, I move the approval of the minutes for December 19, 2022.
Second. Second. Roll call vote.
Ms. Frazier?
Abstain, I was present.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Abstain, not present.
Mayor Figueredo?
Abstain.
Chairman Bowser?
Yes.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Abstain.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. And may I have a motion to approve the resolution for Lyle US Ops B3303 L13.01?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve resolution for Lidl US Ops B3303 L13.1.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ms. Frazier?
Abstain.
Johnston? No, I'm sorry. Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Abstain, not present.
Mayor Figueredo?
Abstain.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Bowser?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 211 Hilton LLC B5812 L16?
Mr. Chairman, I move the resolution for 211 Hilton LLC B5812 L16.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ms. Frazier?
Abstain, not present.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Abstain, not present.
Mayor Figueredo?
Abstain.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Abstain.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve Resolution PVC Properties LLC B2502L3?
Mr. Chairman, I move the resolution for PVC Properties LLC B2502 L3.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ms. Frazier?
Abstain.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Abstain, not present.
Mayor Figueredo?
Abstain.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Bowser?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Okay. All right, thank you. I see we have two items on the agenda for tonight. Mr. Skolnick, good to see you again.
Nice to be here, Chairman.
Mr. Hale, as usual, it's always good to see you. Our agenda has first Dory Properties and the next Dish Wireless. Mr. Hale, I understand you're representing
Yes.
Dory Properties. Like to approach? Great.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board members. Stephen Hale representing the applicant Dory Properties. And it's a pleasure to be here again this evening, and welcome new board members and board members that move from the chair to the back or from this from the side to the chair. So this is actually, if you look at the plans and you'll see our presentation, it's an exciting addition to this building. Eddie from Dory Properties purchased property a number of years ago, and we were before this board. I looked at the resolution, reviewed it, and we received approval in 2018 for an addition to the warehouse at this facility. And Eddie will explain a bit about his business, but that construction is underway, and the building was, like a lot of the buildings are older buildings, and he wants to modernize it. The warehouse addition was one step. He now wants to add a partial second floor to add private offices, move them from the old school where it was the warehouse with the offices up front, to move them to the second floor with some nice private offices and amenity space. And you'll see also there's an area, like an outdoor area within there, that if employees want to use that outdoor space. So there's essentially going to be no change in the operation. The nature of the business that's there is just to provide a much nicer working environment for the office employees and the warehouse employees of Dory Properties. We've received Mr. Hatterer's review letter. We have no problem complying with any of those terms and conditions. And we also did, Phil had requested a traffic impact study. We had Betsy Dolan from Dolan Dean prepare that, and Mr. Vinegro, when he testifies, will touch on those. But again, it's great to see, and you'll hear from Eddie in a second, him investing further into the township and really beautifying this building. So that's an overview of the application. We did again receive the Collier's review letter dated November 3rd, 2022, updated January 4th, 2023. So if there's no preliminary questions, I'd like to call upon Eddie Mandajev.
Just a quick question, Phil. How many
Yeah.
witnesses will be called?
3. We have the applicant owner, our architect, and then Victor Vinegro will be testifying both as the engineer and the planner.
Okay, your name? Your first witness?
Yes.
Eddie Mandajev, good evening.
I'm sorry, please spell your last name, sir?
Mandahaev.
You can take it out, Ed.
Mandahaev.
Ms. Fitzpatrick, please swear in the
Yes.
witness.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Eddie, if you could just give the board, I know you were before this board a couple of years ago, little background on the nature of your business, and then we can move on to the warehouse addition and what you're proposing here this evening.
So we're mainly wholesale distribution. We've been there for about, I want to say about 13, 14 years. And we also have e-commerce, so we sell online. And we mainly sell to hardware stores, distribution centers in New York, New Jersey area.
And the warehouse addition, gives the board a status of that.
So we're approximately about 2-3 months from completion right now. We got a little bit delayed because of a lot of weather, rain, but we're doing well. We should be completed in about 2 to 3 months.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your hours of operation and number of employees.
We are currently strictly Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 is the office. Deliveries are usually from 9 to 12 by appointment only.
All right. And the nature of those deliveries, approximately how many vehicles to and from the property?
So we have usually about 3 to 4 tractor trailers at maximum, and again, it's only by appointment to try to prevent the traffic of staying on Lehigh Avenue. And then we have box trucks, maybe 2 or 3 throughout the day, and that's usually ours, and then UPS, FedEx, and Post Office once a day.
Okay. And as far as with this addition, explain to the board a little bit about your vision. We know you have your architect here to explain the plans, your vision and why you feel this is important for your employees.
Well, it's also for me. We're sitting, just very outdated, so instead of repairing what we have now, and we have a lot of salespeople sitting on top of each other, so we want to just raise everything to the second floor, give everybody a private office, and we have basically a lot of people still working from their houses, their homes, and we're probably going to keep that, but we just want to give everybody a better place to work. It's hard to retain good employees. give a bigger cafeteria area, bigger conference room, and we're also going to have like an inner circle for the people to be able to go sit. Right now, we have some benches outside for people to go sit in the nice weather, have lunch. Now we're going to have it inside our own building. It's going to be open area.
And as far as the operation, number of employees, hours of operation, truck traffic, will this second floor addition impact that at all?
No, not at all.
Okay.
We have about, with warehouse, we have about 21 employees, and we expect to stay the same.
Okay. And the truck deliveries to and from will also be scheduled by appointment?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And you've had an opportunity to review the Collier's letters, the original one and the updated one. Any problem complying with any of those terms and conditions?
No, as we discussed, absolutely no.
Okay, great. I have no further preliminary questions at this time.
Questions from the board?
Actually, I do have a question. You mentioned about your sales team utilizing the office. Is your entire sales staff on-site, or are they in a hybrid or kind of hybrid setting where they're sometimes remote and sometimes on-site?
So we have approximately 4 to 5 people always inside the office, and right now they're crammed into one place, and I'm usually the loudest one. So we're always over-talking each other, and if we just give each other private offices, we should be a lot easier, but outside salespeople usually never come in, no.
Okay.
We have only 2 guys on the road.
Okay. And I might have missed this for the record. How many employees do you have at the moment?
21 total.
21.
And
Total,
that's
yeah.
a few of them working off-site.
Yeah, okay. And then mostly everyone is remote.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Mostly everyone is remote. Most of your employees are remote,
Yeah,
correct?
maybe a handful are remote, and
Okay.
everybody else is inside.
Okay.
Oh, one question I forgot to, as far as visitors, you don't sell anything, and I think we talked about
Oh,
this.
yeah. We don't even have a sign in front, because we had people would walk in, oh, can I buy one shovel? And we just didn't want that whole retail aspect, so that's not going to be an issue, not causing any extra traffic in any sense.
And as far as visitors, extremely limited?
Visitors, we have maybe 1 salesman a week, 2 sales, especially now, they just started coming out. During COVID, it was all Zoom. But yeah, we don't usually have too many visitors.
It was interesting when you said no signage, so you don't get people coming in, so, all right. Thank you again.
Any other questions?
Any questions from the board? Questions from the public?
Yes, I'd like to move on to our architect. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you, have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Great job. Imad Boulis?
I have it here. So you got exhibit A1, and then you got A2, okay? Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please
Sir,
proceed.
do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give the board tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Would you please spell your name for the record?
My first name is Imad. It's E as in Edward, M as in Mary, A as in Apple, D as in David. Last name is Boulis, B as in boy, O-U-L-E-S-S.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't hear that. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, speak
Sure.
right into that mic there.
First name is Imad. It's E as in Edward, M as in Mary, A as in Apple, D as in David. Last name is Boulis, B as in boy, O-U, L as in Larry, E as in Edward, S as in Sam, S as in Sam.
Thank you.
Great. And Mr. Boulis, if you could please give the board the benefit of your work, educational experiences, license you hold, and whether you've been qualified before the boards or courts of the state of New Jersey in the field of architecture.
Sure. I'm a project architect with Karnak Architecture LLC. It's located at 9 Saunders Lane, Hackstown, New Jersey, 07840. I have a bachelor degree of architecture from School of Fine Arts in Egypt. I'm having experience of over 25 years in architecture. I'm a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey, and my license is currently active.
And you have been accepted, I know this is your first time before this board, but before other boards or courts?
Yeah, this is my first time in Township of Union, but I stood in front of many boards in the state of New Jersey.
Mr. Hale, would you like the board to acknowledge the witness as an expert?
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Boulis, you've obviously heard, you're well familiar with the project, heard the testimony. from the applicant. If you could take us through the floor plans and elevations, and I see our friend Mr. Vinegra has helped you put that up on the board.
Sure. So I brought with me tonight two colors for the two color exhibits for the elevation and the floor plan. What I have on the screen right now is Exhibit A1. At the bottom here is the floor plan for the proposed second floor. I'm just trying to make it bigger.
All right, it was there.
I'm sorry.
All right, Sal. Oh, there we go.
I got it. I'm not going to move it again.
And I think that's a touch screen. You probably can expand it. There you go.
Great. Oh, this is better.
My grandkids taught me that.
It didn't work well. Okay, I'm not going to touch it again. Oh. Is it too small?
You can
I
just-
guess?
There we go. Perfect.
So what I'm having here in front of us is a proposed second floor plan. This area is going to, it's 16,833 square feet. It's proposed to be on the second floor on top of the existing warehouse, not at the front area where there's an area called roof. I'm going to point to it here. This is the main entry of the building, and this is the existing offices today. But the second floor is proposed to be on top of the existing warehouse. Again, the square footage is about 16,833 square feet. This addition is not going to cause any impact to the existing footprint of the building. The building today is 52,735 square feet, with about 31,242 square feet is under construction. The area at the back here is the area under construction. It's this big box at the back. But the new addition will increase the floor area. So it will increase the floor area from 60,830 square feet to 77,663 square feet. My client is looking for an additional office space, an additional break room area for his staff. The focus is to improve the work area and the better environment for his staff. So as Eddie said before me, currently the staff is using the front yard as a break area. If the weather permit, they have also a pantry that it's existing today in the warehouse, but it's sitting at the back of the warehouse. It's very small, has no windows, the windows is open to the warehouse. It has no daylights. And the owner is looking for better lounge area, better office area, better environment for his workers. And that's what led us to get into the second floor and use the second floor as space for his staff. In the plan in front of me, the pantry area is this area here, which is about 800 square feet. And in the middle in the center of the floor area will be an open glass area. It's an open to above. It's going to be like an open roof. So the employees can either use the break room or either they can get into the open area, which is like an indoor court. And that's to eliminate people from going into the front yard or sitting outside. Along the perimeter of the building will be 14 offices. Those are the offices that mark in orange color here. Mostly of them facing Lehigh Avenue, and some about 4 offices on the east side and 4 offices on the west side. Also will be about the area I indicated in green is proposed 6,000 storage area, and this will be more storage for any secure area, any staff that he needs special eye on it, stuff that they cannot go into the storage place. So the green area is the storage area. Also will be a conference room at the top of the court, and it's all glass area here that it's open to the interior space. Will be this area here in blue is going to be 2 toilets, 2 restrooms for male and female, for the visitors and for the staff as well. This floor will be accessible via an elevator. It's going to be in the center line and with an open stairs as well at the inside. In order to do this second floor addition, we have to do some alteration to the first floor in order to create the elevator and the stairs. So therefore, we're going to eliminate the small pantry that he has as of today and use this area as a shaft for the elevator. I also have with me the color elevation at the top. This is the elevation facing Lehigh Avenue. So the top elevation is the existing condition today, where what you see is the brick area is the brick building that exists today, and the brownish color at the back is the new warehouse is under construction. The elevation at the bottom is showing the proposed second floor, which it goes up to 32 feet high. And it's going to be all enclosed with or cladded with cement plaster or stucco finish with all glass windows for the offices. In Exhibit 8.2, I have the, hope it open fast. Yeah, I think I can zoom in this. So the top elevation here, which this is west elevation. The top elevation is the existing condition. This is from the west side. So the brick here is the side of the warehouse, the existing warehouse. This is the existing. This is the warehouse under construction currently, and the bottom elevation is the proposed elevation from the west side. Again, this area shown in gray, it's the proposed second floor. And it's similar, the other elevation, the east elevation, it's exactly a mirror of the west side. So again, this is the existing elevation for the warehouse, and this is the proposed one with the addition at the top. Lastly, I just want to mention that the engineering review letter dated January 4, section 1.15, under proposed variance, refer to the height as 45 feet. The height will be 32 feet and 2 inches, so it's below the 45 feet. And also it mentioned that the addition is going to be 9,000 square feet. The addition is 16,833 feet. Thank you.
Questions from the board, questions from the public? You call the next witness, Mr. Hale.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony
I do.
please claim?
Okay, my name is Victor, middle initial E, last name Vinegra, V-I-N-E-G-R-A. I'm a principal with the firm of Harbor Consultants, located at 320 North Avenue East in Cranford, New Jersey. I have testified before this board in the past as both an engineer and a professional planner. I also sit on this board at times as an interim planner, when conflict engineer, when your engineer is conflicted. So,
Share this mic for a minute so we don't lose time. Right. Thank you, Mr. Vinegra. If you could please give the board, again, the benefit of your work, educational experience, and licenses you hold.
yes, I'm again an engineer with over 35 years of experience in the state of New Jersey. My licenses are in good standing, both as an engineer and a planner. I've been before this board. I also sit on 2 boards currently as an engineer. Our firm currently handles a couple of towns within Union County, Garwood, Hillside, Elizabeth. We sit on their boards and we do review of board applications similar to this.
Mr. Chair, would you like the board to consider his testimony as an expert witness?
Yes, in both the field of engineering and planning.
So ordered. Please continue.
Great. So, Mr. Venegre, you've heard the testimony of the applicant and the architect. If you could take us through the engineering aspects of the plan, and then we can move on to the planning justifications for any relief being sought.
Yes, we were the original engineers on the application a few years ago for the addition out back. This is an older, dated, probably around 70-year-old warehouse building along Lehigh Avenue. Probably half those buildings are quite old along Lehigh. And it's nice that you have an applicant here looking to totally update the building and modernize the building. He's looking to, again, move his offices on the second level and make all the new offices and all the new bathrooms fully ADA compliant. Older buildings, unless you built an addition, you didn't have to be fully compliant. Now with the use of a new elevator, all the second-story bathrooms will be ADA compliant, and so will the offices. So then he can seek a diverse employees to come into the office and work. I like the architect's design, as he said, the center. Right now, I'm referring, this is really a color rendering of our sheet number 2, labeled plot plan. And all this is a colorized version of sheet number 2 that you have.
Great, thank you.
Okay. And right now, the applicant has placed some picnic tables out there. I've seen people out there in nicer weather, actually, enjoying the lunch, which now he's gonna move that to an interior open space to the general public. And again, like he stated before, he's looking to modernize the entire building. And you know, it's a nice feature. He's also the loading docks were not changing. And what I like about his existing loading docks, the tailboards do not exist at the edge of the building. He has internal, they go in about 35 feet into the building. He's not looking to change that. So he could have tried to maximize the square footage, which he's not looking to do, so he can park his box trucks inside his building on off hours and stuff. Because, yeah, I think he has 2 or 3 box trucks, and he has room to park those inside the building. So he has existing parking out here currently, and what's nice is when he's finished the addition, he can park a majority of the cars in the rear of the building. So the cars that are out there now in that parking lot can all relocate to the rear. The warehouse staff and some of the office staff can be in the front. So overall, the project, including the past proposal, and with this new addition, is going to be over the new ordinance for parking. So he's actually going to have excess parking, which is unusual, because you did modernize your ordinance. So we're okay on parking. We have excess parking. Again, we're not looking to change the site at all. Mr. Hatterer's letter did have a couple comments for us to investigate the existing lighting and to augment that to make sure it meets current standards, and we will agree to that. So the rest of the site really is being unchanged. We're just looking to the architect is looking to place a second floor addition to modernize the building on top of the existing first floor. So that should clear up whatever issue we may have with some overparking in the area of his employees. I don't think it's really his employees' problems. I've driven past that area many a time, and there are, at times, some excess parking on Lehigh. But again, we have ample parking for this project. So there's no changes in the site. We do agree to satisfy Mr. Hatterer's letter, and my client will be making improvements out there and modernizing the parking area also. On Mr. Hatterer's letter, he lists on page 2 all the existing variances. These are all what we call pre-existing nonconformities that exist from the site. So some of those were improved on the last application, and some of them were just pre-existing from the day that the structure was built. And I would say the structure has to be about 60 to 70 years old. On page 2 at the bottom, or 3 are proposed variances. The bulk variance for impervious coverage up to 94%. Again, we're just, at this time, everything we're looking to do are improvements for parking. And most of those improvements were out back to add additional parking for the warehouse workers. So we feel that we're not looking to perform any additional impervious at the front of the building. 1.15, the height of the building. We satisfy the ordinance within this zone within 10% of the permitted area. We're far enough where, again, what's nice about what this addition's doing, it's not right up on the street. The height of the warehouse is to the rear along the railroad tracks, and this small area to the front is not being touched, which has a very shallow ceiling height, about 12 feet. So we're not looking to make the addition high near the residences across the street. We'll go further through here. Traffic, our office submitted with Betsy Dolan, Dolan and Dean, a quick trip generation chart that was submitted to your engineer for review. And based on ITE, as you know, the Institute of Traffic Engineers numbers, this type of addition would only generate normally 2 to 3 additional trips per day. And that's exactly what the owner states, that and he's appointment only. And just for edification, I've driven past here many a time. And also when you go look at the Google Earth photos, very seldomly I see many trucks there. I think he parks most of his trucks inside the building with the doors down. So I've seen only once, I've seen a tractor trailer when I drove by, did I notice. So again, he's storing the material. It's not like a depot, comes in, comes out, comes in, comes out, comes in. I guess it gets scanned, stocked, and then shipped out with a box truck when he makes his deliveries to the hardware stores in the area. So that's what I think this project is a benefit, in my opinion, because then it enhances an existing structure. It helps with the previous approval, additional parking. And it also, I think, besides the aesthetic reasons here, that it really modernizes the building to make it something that is not an eyesore, nor will be an eyesore. It'll be aesthetically improved, but it will be also modernized, and that's key. You know, it's very key nowadays to have a modern building where employees can, again, he's doing a gym, like a small workout station inside the building, outdoor and indoor lunch areas. So I guess he does have a problem with, doesn't have a problem, but he wants to have employee retention in the future and trying to give as much amenities as possible to his clientele. So that's really the gist of this application, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Vinegra. No further preliminary questions at this time.
Mr. Hale, quick question.
Yeah.
Was the letter from the fire department, January 6, 2023, we give a copy of that? No, I haven't. You can do it.
Welcome.
I trust you didn't get it.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
If we vote on this tonight.
Yeah, no problem. And let me just
If you want to
indicate.
review it with your client, that's fine.
No, I'll just say, it says, all driveways and parking areas shall accommodate fire apparatus turning radius. Again, I assume, Mr. Vinegra, we're not changing any of that, we're
Nope.
just doing a second floor addition, so.
And if you see, we show a large box truck turning radius on the existing plans.
Okay. And fire lane striping and signage shall be approved by Union Police, Traffic Bureau, and fire official. I assume, again, no problem with that?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so
Great,
they're
no
in
problem.
agreement with the letter of January 6, 2023?
No problem.
Okay, great, thank you. Questions from the board for Mr. Vinegra?
Hi, I have a question. So you mentioned parking in the back of the building. Is there an entrance in the back of the building? I can't, thank you.
Yeah, there's rear entry for the warehouse employees and also side entry. But you can see here, the parking is actually under the building. So what's nice is climate. So it's out of the snow and out of the rain. So That's all along back here.
And is there a walkway, pedestrian walkway, if they decide to park in the back and want to walk up to the front of the
We
building?
can paint one. Sometimes you stripe that and cross-stripe it, just like a crosswalk along the side of the driveway. But we're, again, currently, we're looking at having the employees that park here, office employees, and then warehouse employees park in the rear. So visitors and office employees will park in the front. That's the plan, so.
And also, so the new second floor, do they plan on working on the bottom floor to match, so it doesn't look like a brand-new building on the top and then the older building on the bottom?
We're gonna, the architect, and we had a discussion on this, they're gonna power wash and repoint the existing brick on the first level, and then do a color match with a three-piece stucco, not ephes, but a stucco finish to match the brick down below.
Awesome, thank you. And just for my curiosity, the open space in the middle, is that like a greenhouse type of thing where the roof will rise, open, and close?
He said it's just gonna be open, so he's gonna have to put fiberglass or waterproof matting down. It's not cheap, with floor, with drains, with internal scupper drains. So what he's looking to do is not an inexpensive thing, because again, rainwater will fall in there, and he has to take care of the rainwater situation. But I guess, do that and have some plants out there, so.
Awesome, thank you.
Mr. Lee?
Yes. You referenced the Dolan Dean letter regarding the traffic study, and my question is just mainly just to clarify on the methodology used, and I know the references to the Institute of Transportation Engineers, ITE, specifically the 11th edition of the Trip Generation Manual. On the very last paragraph of the letter, it states here, due to the impacts of COVID-19, the applicant experienced a reduction on on-site employees, ... a proportional increase in daily or peak hour activity will not result. So my first question, just out of curiosity, is that does the methodology from the 11th edition of the Trip Generation Manual incorporate some of the assumptions due to a pandemic like COVID-19?
Again, I did not generate this, so it is, but what we're doing here is really taking existing employee space and we're moving it to the second floor to an expanded space.
Right.
So based on the client's testimony, Betsy Dolan utilized ITE Trip Generation from that edition, but based on actual data from the client, we're not looking to do more than, it may add a few trips via truck, because hopefully he does additional business. But at this time, he's not looking to add much in employee staff. So based on existing testimony, I think this is actually conservative.
Yeah, I think for my purpose in looking at the table, there are basically two rows here, one that accounts for, I think, the current state, 60,000 square
Yep.
feet, and the 77,000 square feet.
And it's showing 3 additional trips, right?
Yeah, it's showing 3 additional trips, morning peak hour, and 3 additional evening trips, peak hour. Would you say your stance would be that this is more so of a range of 0 to 3 additional morning peak hour trips?
I would think this would be good, because hopefully he does more business and would pick up a couple of employees. It doesn't mean everybody commutes by vehicle, because again, he has flex schedule right now. So because of COVID, also opened up flex scheduling.
Yeah.
So I would perceive that Mondays and Fridays, you don't have the same workload. So based on even my own experience with my office, and I'm kind of an old school person, like I want you to win because I want to train the young folk. But the older employees who have experience, they don't come in on Thursday, they don't come in on Thursday. So based on my own experience with flex scheduling, I think it's probably going to be a balance, a push. We add new office, we add maybe a couple employees, but because of sales from home, I think it's going to be realistically a 0 net increase. We're saying 3 peak, 3 additional, but I don't think Betsy Dolan took in flex scheduling, and sales is definitely flex scheduling.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions from the board? Questions from the public? Mr. Hill?
We have no further witnesses at this time, Mr. Chairman,
Would you like
but
to sum
certainly anyone that has testified so far are here to answer any questions from the board.
Okay.
If you want, I can,
You wanna do
if there's
summation, or
no,
would you
yeah, if
rather
there's
just
no
vote for a vote?
comments from the public, yeah, just, it's a great addition that the applicant is looking to put on this building. We were here again before this board several years ago for the warehouse addition, which is being completed. This is done to enhance the building, modernize the building, provide this great office space and amenity space on the second floor, and just the variances, if any, are minimal, and we think this is a great application. Hope the board would look favorably upon it, so thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hill. And
No, thank
Before
you.
we take a vote, just to confirm, if we do vote in favor of this, the letter of January 6, 2023, your client will abide by that?
Yes, that's
Okay, fair
no
enough.
problem.
Can I have a motion to approve new business application 2022-20 Dory Properties?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve application 2022-20 Dory Properties, 667 Lehigh Avenue, B601 L10.
Second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes, and I would like to come visit that open space.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Yes.
Mayor Figueredo?
Yes.
Mayor Hauser?
Yes.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, and have a great night, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Next, we have new business Dish Wireless application. There we go.
Chairman, members of the board, Richard Skolnick.
Mr. Skolnick,
On
good to
behalf
see
of
you
the
again.
applicant, thank you, nice to be back in a different role. This evening, I'm representing Dish Wireless. It's a new wireless carrier coming into the market. It's going to compete with AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. So it's building out its network all throughout Jersey and the rest of the country. And its first target, of course, is to go on the existing buildings and the existing towers.
How many witnesses, Mr. Skolnick?
Just one witness, less than 5 minutes.
Okay, that be your expert or your fact?
He's a civil engineer.
Okay.
Flew in for the hearing from Oklahoma. And the proposal
Jersey?
basically is to add some antennas onto an existing tower that's on floral, sort of hidden behind Kane University and the athletic field. It's sort of tucked away, peerless, nobody really goes down there. So they're going to add some antennas onto the tower, and they only have 35 square feet for their equipment at ground level, and they're going to compete with the big carriers and let the market dictate.
Okay.
By way of background, when the federal government approved the combination of T-Mobile and Sprint, if you remember a couple years ago, they sort of dictated that there has to be radio frequency and wireless for a fourth carrier to get the competition. So that's really about it. Not complicated at all. If I could swear in Mr. Smith.
Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Would you raise your right hand, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give before tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And would you spell your name, please?
Peter, Peter, Smith, Smith.
Okay, Mr. Smith, can you provide your professional qualifications in the field of civil engineering?
Yeah, I have a degree, actually, bachelor's degree in architectural engineering.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's all right. And I've been a practicing engineer for about 25 years, a PE for about 21 to 22 years. Currently licensed in New Jersey, in addition to many other states. And my license is active.
And you've testified?
I've testified in
zoning
multiple
boards?
jurisdictions in New Jersey, including Piscataway, Chatham, Springfield, Garwood.
All right, Mr. Skolnick, would you like the board to acknowledge your witness as an expert witness?
I certainly would.
So ordered. Please continue.
Okay, can you tell us what we have here on the site in terms of the proposed build-out?
Yeah, so this, really, Rick said it, it represents a new carrier, antennas, and some ground equipment, a very compact framework. None of the none of the retro things that we've seen on compounds for years. It says 35 square foot on the ground, and antennas on the below the top levels of the tower. It's 5G equipment. Dish has taken advantage of the changes in technology over the last few years, and as a result of that, has a very compact package that's going on these towers.
And the equipment's going to be inside an existing fence compound?
Yes, existing fence compound, we're not going to require any movement of the fence, stays as is, just goes in leases another small corner of it.
And we're not raising the height of the tower?
No, we're not raising the height of the tower.
And the review letter cross-referenced some provisions of the ordinance. We submitted the emissions report to confirm that we comply with the state and federal standards.
Correct.
And we submitted part of the structural analysis, is that correct?
It's correct, yes.
Okay, and Chairman, of course, will submit the full structural analysis when we come along for building permits, but we gave a little taste of that just to confirm that
Thank you,
we'll be
Mr.
okay on the structural.
It's fine.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Smith?
No, not unless there's questions for me.
Questions from the board? Questions from the public?
I'd just like to, for the record, your construction will be in two positions, one at the base and one, the antenna at the top.
Correct.
And just for my own curiosity, is that a single-day operation as far as?
It would not be a
build-out?
single day. They would, the platform on the ground, which I can show you here, it's down here, small in this little corner.
Yes, the 35 square feet one.
Yes, exactly. So they would construct that platform, and then they would add the cabinets separately, and then the cabinets are attached to power and fiber. So they don't bring it in one unit, but it's not a lot of equipment. I think there's 3 cabinets, power, fiber, and the telecom cabinet. So it does go together quickly, I would say. I don't work for the GC, but I would say, a week, 4 days maybe.
Okay. I'm aware of another process that took a lot longer, so I just wanted to
Okay.
clarify. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Question from the public?
So Chairman, it's a minor site plan. We're permitted use because we're in the industrial zone, and that's about how complex it is.
Sounds
We'll try to get you home early tonight.
No, I trust there's no more witnesses, Mr. Skolnick?
No more
Okay,
witnesses.
thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
Spare you.
Thank you.
Spare you.
All right, I'd like to take a motion to approve application 2023-01.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second,
Second?
roll call.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Perkins?
Yes?
Mayor Figueroa?
Yes.
Committeeman Bowser?
Yes.
Ms. Ricketts?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Coleman?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Skolnick.
Thank you, and best to everybody
you all.
for a healthy 2023. I don't know, for some reason the years go faster as you get a little older.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
With no other new business, I'd like to take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, everyone.